Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. Oh my God, I forgot to shave. Anyway, this is one of those shows where we talk about sports with comedians. We get the comics to come in and they talk about everything that's going on in sports. They talk about what their thoughts are and everything else. So before we get ready to jump into that, and before I even introduce the comedian, let me first introduce my co-host of today's show. My man known as Stack is in the building. Stack, what's up, bro? How you doing, bro?
What's going on? What's going on, Frank?
Thank you for joining the show. Thank you for being a co-host today. I greatly appreciate that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me bring in one of my favorite Lions fans in the building. He's been on a lot of television shows. He's been doing comedy for, oh my God, at least 25, 30 years. He's my favorite Q in the building, even though I'm a Sigma. I still love this dude. Got great brother, got great love for this brother, Mr. Howie Bell. Howie, how you doing, sir? How's everything?
Oh man, you know what? Hey, I'm still recovering, Frank, over here. I'm mentally recovering from that devastation.
Hey, bro, you all got far, man. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
y'all got far. So I'm very happy about the
Yeah,
length.
but ain't no, we don't get no trophies for, for
I know,
trying. You know what I'm saying?
bro.
But with that being said, though, I do agree. The Lions over the last couple of seasons have really done far beyond what they've ever done in the history of the franchise. And so, I walk away with my head high as a fan and a Detroiter. And we'll be back next year, man. They'll be all right. They'll
Yeah,
be all right. They're
I
they're in contention now.
you're right. I think
Sounds good. Sounds good, man. The NFC North, y'all sent three teams, man. This
they
is
got a battlefield. They got to listen. They you all
y'all beat each other up
talented
all
out
year.
there.
Maybe that's what I'll say. Y'all beat each other up all year. Maybe that's
Yeah,
why.
yeah. There's nothing.
But you but I mean, we won the division 2 years in a row.
This is what I'm gonna say about the Lions. Okay, y'all did the same thing Baltimore didn't do. You abandoned ship on your running back, your running game, and when it really counted. That's what it seemed like to me.
As crazy as that may sound, you're absolutely correct. A lot of people saying that, and we ran the ball good even with that. That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you this, man. Nobody can win a football game, let alone playoffs, with 5 turnovers. There's
Right.
no that's you just can't do it. Now we won a regular season game with 5 turnovers this year. Actually, to be honest, we played.
Wow.
I can't believe who that was. It was a high scoring game, and we actually pulled that one off. But that doesn't normally happen. And I don't know what got into Jared Goff. Somebody poisoned him the night before, or he, what I'm saying, bumped his head in the game. When that penalty non-call. I don't know, but he was awful.
Mhm.
And we need for him to be good in order for us to win. Even with that being said, the game was still pretty much in reach for most of the game too. So that wasn't it wasn't like we got disgraced either, even with 5 turnovers. So I give the Lions that, man. I'm a
Yeah,
Lions fan for life.
yeah.
Yeah.
But before we even jump into the show, I just want to ask you this one Lions question, then I'm gonna jump into my question and stuff like that. Do you think since the Lions just lost their offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, do you think
Yes.
it's gonna be a problem, or do you think that the people under them is gonna be able to still maintain everything that's got? And then of course, a lot of you guys are coming back from injury. You all will come back this season. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'd say this, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, they did good for the Lions, man, and I'm happy to see them go somewhere else. But I don't wish them success. I hope they go somewhere else and become terrible. But I think we got a chance to do something. I don't necessarily. I think they said one of the guys, one of our coaches, I think our receiver coach might step up and do something. But he's from the Steelers. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I used to play for the Steelers. But I don't know, man. I think the Lions got a lot of money. We
Mhm.
got a young team. And we'll find somebody. It's a lot more like my partner said. It's a lot more brilliant football minds out there than just them.
Yeah, it really is. All right, let's get ready to get the show started. If you're watching the show's called Box Seats. We talk about comedians, and we talk to comedians about sports. We ask them their questions, their thought process, and everything else. If you want to join the show, my partner is getting ready to put the link in there. You can come in. You can come in and show. You could ask your question to the comic, and you can roll out. Obviously, if you're sitting there watching it, the link is going to be posted in the comments. You could join. We'll pull you up, and you could ask your question to Howie Bell. For our question, actually, not even my question. My statement to you is, first thing is recently Scottie Pippen said something, Howie, which was a lot of people are finding really despicable, honestly. You know what I mean? Scottie Pippen said that he thinks that the Chicago Bulls, with the entire team that he was able to play on, would have still won 6 rings, whether Michael Jordan was going to be there or not. He made that statement. He came out there and said it, and he firmly believes it. And a lot of NBA players are saying some stuff about that in the last week. So Howie, I don't know how old you are, but I think you saw Jordan play a little bit. You know what I mean?
All of it. I'm 52 years old.
So there you go. So what's your thought on Scottie Pippen saying what he said about Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls?
Well, first of all, you got to remember, I'm born and raised in Detroit. I remember when Jordan came into the league.
Right.
Isaiah Thomas fan, the Bad Boys, the Pistons. I was in high school when we won those back-to-back. Even went to the finals 3 times in a row. I lived that very, very good years of my high school life. I remember all of that. With that being said, hell no, Scottie Pippen lost his mind. What is he thinking about? You know what I'm saying? He said that all 6, let me get that correct, all 6 rings would have been won without Michael Jordan?
Yeah, he said if he had been on the team, he could have won all 6 of these rings without Michael Jordan. That's what he said.
Come on. Why are we even entertaining that?
The only reason why we're
entertaining that shouldn't even be something to be discussed.
But Howie, it came from Scottie Pippen. And now here's the thing that I want to make sure people understand. Every single interview Michael Jordan has done, including the one that he did when he did that Netflix 10 parts, he said he could not have done it without Scottie Pippen. That's what he said.
Yeah.
But he did not say he could still have won it if Scottie Pippen hadn't been there. You know, he didn't say that. Now you flip the table, Scottie come out of his neck and say that. So
yeah, Scottie Pippen, I don't know what kind of mental state he's in these days, or what he's all about. I don't know, man. I mean, it just sounds weird. It sounds like maybe something he was trying to do for clicks and likes or something. I don't know. It just sounds like fake news, like everything else. Yeah, it just, like why would he even say that? Is weird to me. So, but Scottie Pippen, man, I loved him as a basketball player. I remember all the migraine headaches you used to have, brother. I don't think you could have had all the migraines and won them championships. So, so I don't know what you're talking about. You had arguably the greatest player of all time on your team. I just don't see why he would make a statement like that unless he's on complete drugs. I don't know.
Stack, what's your thoughts on this, bro? Because honestly, it's crazy. It may sound. Some people are actually entertaining that. What's your thought on this? Can't hear you, Stack. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. I don't know about him having won 6 rings without Jordan, but I do think that he would have had a great career without being on the Bulls with Jordan. It's kind of unfortunate how their situation is kind of panned out with Jordan and Scottie. I think he feels slighted and jaded in a lot of ways by the fans, by the media, by the Bulls organization, and so on and so forth. So it kind of makes sense that he's a little bit bitter, being the butt of so many jokes, even though he was so critical to those rings. So it's just kind of a sad sight to see, honestly.
Honestly, Howie, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna leave it at this. That brother went to Portland Trailblazers. They were stacked. They couldn't even get past the Western Conference Finals. And they kept running into Kobe and the Lakers. They couldn't even get past that to get to the finals. And they went 7 games. But bro, if you didn't beat the West out there, which is stupid anyway, like why would he even go out west to get to the West State when the West was an Arsenal? Why would you think that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? He doesn't know. His agents don't know. They didn't. I mean, Scottie Pippen, man. To be honest, he's kind of a misfit back then in the league. Even now with this latest statement, it's just coming across as weirdo. Yeah. And it's like, man, come on, man. I mean, what are you talking about?
What do y'all want from Scottie? I always be wondering because
nothing. You beat me to it. Nothing. We don't want nothing from him.
But that's my point. Because I think it's like I said. I think it's a generational thing. Because people downplay the new generation for how dudes get along with one another. But any young kid that's an asshole now, y'all got not good things to say about him. But for some reason, Jordan's the only person who's allowed to be an asshole.
Are you
historically.
kidding me?
They even do
I
the
just
same.
mentioned the bad boy. I just
I
Stack.
think they
I'm
do the
sorry.
same thing to Isaiah, though. I feel the
That's
same
what
way.
I'm saying, Stack. I just mentioned the bad boy Pistons. Come on, man. Who doesn't get more flack than these guys in the history of the
That's my
NBA?
point. That's my point, though. That's my point. It's like, as great as Scotty was, just the mere fact that he was a teammate of Michael Jordan, he's never going to get his just due. That's how, and I think that's how he feels. And like I said, I feel like, all right, the way
looking at it completely, Stack, you're looking at it completely wrong.
That's fine. That's just my opinion.
No, I know everybody has their own opinion, but I'm telling you right now.
Isaiah, even look at Isaiah Thomas. I feel like he doesn't get his just due. He's the only dude to beat Magic and Bird and Mike in their primes. He's the only dude to do it, to beat everybody in their prime.
But Isaiah Thomas and Scottie Pippen, two totally different players.
So I get it.
Totally different.
But look at all of Isaiah's teammates. They all get love, all of them. Jordan's the only guy.
What are you
Not really? They don't like Bill Laimbeer. They don't like Rick Mahorn. They don't like Bill Laimbeer. They don't like.
All right.
I don't know where you got that from.
Because those guys wouldn't be nice today. But Dumars,
they didn't like Rodman. I could go down the list. They didn't like none of us.
But they liked him when he was on the Bulls.
Yes, they did. When he was on the Bulls, they liked him.
Yes, they did.
All right, never mind. I'm done.
They hated the Pistons. No, you know.
All I'm saying is I'm not defending what
how he finishes. Stack, let how he finish his point. I'll let you finish your
point.
Go ahead.
No, Stack, you good. The only thing I was saying is apples and oranges, though, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't really compare the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons to Scottie Pippen or even Isaiah Thomas to a Scottie Pippen because we were never liked. So, and still to this day, I mean, Isaiah Thomas got held off the Olympic team, of course, because of Michael Jordan hating. So we already know he went to David Stern and did all that and came up with the Jordan rules and all of that based off the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons. So two different things. Scottie Pippen was a role player on a great championship, historical team. But he's not the same, and he was like when he played. I don't know what's going on with him now. Like you said, what do we want from him? Nothing. Nothing.
I don't think
so. I mean, like, what are you talking about?
Let me interject and just say this.
Probably a reason why he's not on ESPN or doing those sports talks.
I don't think that's his personality. He was a star player. He was ahead of his time as far as his physical prototype and what he brought to the game. And he was one of the first guys to do it. And he got snubbed. And he doesn't get his props. That's all right.
Hold on, Stack. Let me just interject here before I bring in. We got somebody who wants to chime in, a listener by the name of Jason Hayes. Jason, I see you. I'm getting ready to pull you up in a second. Before I bring him in, so he could ask you guys a question or he can make his own statement. Let me just say this. At the time, I love and respected Jordan. I hated him as a person. You know what I mean? I think he did a lot of things. He wasn't the most likable guy. The NBA had this thing where they were trying to make him the face of the league, which they ultimately did. But Jordan behind the scenes was one of the meanest dudes that you would ever want to meet. That dude is not a good, friendly, warm and fuzzy. He's not that dude at all. So I don't know what you're saying about everybody because that everybody does not include me. But I do respect him for winning them 6 NBA. He could have won 9, honestly. You know what I mean? At least he could have won. He won the 6. He could have won 7. He definitely could have won 8. The 2 years he took off, he could have still won. He could have went back and won those two.
I agree.
He definitely could have did that. But we got a person who I want to bring in. He's a listener. He watches. He interacts with us all the time. My man, Mr. Jason Hayes. Jason, how you doing, Jason? I'm gonna give you the floor. Say your statement, bro. What you got?
Hey, I'm good, fellas, man. It's good hanging out with you. And my man here blaspheming, calling Scottie Pippen a role player, man. Hey, fire your weed man today. Because he was more than a role player, bro. I mean, but having said that, just here to hang out, man, hear what you're talking about. Right. I saw the subject lines. I'm just here, man, to hear what y'all chopping on, man. That's it.
Bro, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I'll bring you back in if you want to interject. You just raise your hand, say something, man. I'll bring you in. Just you say what you got to say, statement, and you're going to stay up there live. I'm going to keep bringing Howie back in because the next topic, Howie, you ain't going to believe this one. Well, you might believe it because obviously, you're a Detroit person. Here's the funny part, the crazy part. Jimmy Butler got suspended again 2 games, bro. Suspended. Right. He's walking on the plane. I mean, he tells them, you know what, I'm not going to get on the plane. Y'all go I'll meet y'all in Milwaukee. Pat Riley gets in the horn. He said, "Don't even bother. Don't bother. Just sit these other next 2 games out. We don't need you. We'll figure it out." And I'm looking at this like now and saying this is the worst precedent that an NBA player can set by continuously being that dude. You know what I mean? So Howie, what's your take on Jimmy Butler first suspended a group of, I think it was 6 games. Now he suspended another 2, trying to force Miami Heat's hand. And the worst part about this, if you're sitting at home, you don't realize this. The worst part about this is the people who he's going to be traded to, they know now that the Miami Heat's trying to force the trade. So they're only going to get peanuts for him. You know, you got his $35 million contract. And if I'm anybody, I'm like, 49. I don't want Jimmy Butler. Say
49.
Yeah.
There you go. How was your
Jimmy Butler is a hell of a player, man. I just don't think he wants to be there anymore, brother. He doesn't want to be there. And so he's doing everything he can to leave. He doesn't care anymore. That's like you dating a girl and she continuously trying to get caught and you in denial. Mm-hmm. She don't like you no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just all it is, you know, to be honest. So, yeah, with that being said, they're not going to get a big deal for him or, you know, the money that they should have. But, you know, I don't know if what he's doing is such a bad thing for players or something associated with that. I can't see how it's not a good, you know, clean look for him to be doing these types of things. But we don't know what's going on behind the scenes with these organizations and these players. You know, we don't know how we don't know how they're treating him, you know, behind the scenes. We don't know what's been done. We don't know what's been said. And so I'd be slow to judgment right now. Let's see how this kind of plays out with Jimmy Butler.
If you guys are watching, the show's called Box Seats. We got our guest on today, comedian Howie Bell. He gave you his thoughts. Now, let me ask my co-host, Stack, what you think about this thing going on with Jimmy Butler? What's your thoughts?
Jimmy Butler's a great player. This will be his second, maybe third unceremonious transition from a team. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna let him share the blame for that. I'm not gonna just blame the organization. I understand that he doesn't want to be there. I understand that it's frustrating, but you're making $49 million, brother, to play basketball. So at the very base of it all, play basketball, you know, and right now you're not doing that. And I don't think he's doing himself any favors in regard to getting traded because he's lowering his trade stock. I don't think he's doing himself any favors in free agency. I do think his game will get him signed again. And I don't think he's necessarily a cancer because he can play with other guys and things of that nature. But I just think that he's showing some character flaws right now that just may not warrant another $50 million a year contract. You know, and on top of that, the team was very patient with you through your injuries, you know, and you had your shot. You went to the finals. Okay. You get it done on your own. So you need help.
Yeah. Let's see what the gallery's saying, because my man Jason looked like he wanted to say something about this. Jason, what's up, man? What's your thoughts?
Hey, well, I mean, as the lone Floridian trapped in Brooklyn, I've been rocking with the Heat since Ronnie Cycling, Bimbo Coles, right? So the issue with Jimmy Butler is bread, man. You know, like he's due, you know, I mean, he's in the last year of his contract. He owes he holds the option. The Heat didn't want to give him, you know, the max deal that he's trying to get on the 2-year thing because they say he's been injured 25% of the time or whatever. And they're like, man, we ain't cutting the check for that. And so he's pouting and he's not wanting to do what he's contractually obligated to do right now, sitting by himself on the bench, missing flights, all that kind of stuff, man. The Heat has one of the best coaches in all the sports. So if you ain't making it happen in Miami, that's a you problem. And I'm certain of that. So hopefully, man, you know, they'll monitor that, man. But one thing Pat Riley's not going to do is let him destroy that franchise. That's not going to happen for sure.
Exactly. Speaking of destroying franchises, I got to keep the ball rolling on because you all are going to love this one. Speaking of destroying franchises, and check out the segue. Let's bring in and talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. Because Howie, LeBron James and Anthony Davis are now talking about they went to management in the last 24 hours. That's 48 hours. You know, Shams has reported that they went to management because they're interested now in trying to figure out a way how they can make a trade for a player. I hear Lonzo Ball is on the table out of Chicago. I'm hearing a couple other names and players. I don't know, but most importantly, the one that really is forefront is Lonzo Ball, and I think the Lonzo Ball trade is going to happen. But Howie, what's your thoughts on this? Because honestly, I think if they make another trade, it's going to continue to hurt their franchise because they got 2 number ones. You know what I mean? Like people ain't sleeping on them. The Lakers got 2 number ones. If I'm the Lakers, I trade away LeBron James. That's what I do because you're going to get a lot from him. I would trade LeBron James and get back into the thick of things in 2 years. What would you do if you're the Los Angeles Lakers?
You just said a lot with that last statement.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, let me answer that first. They're not going to trade LeBron James.
No,
So
they're not going to. No, they're
so
not.
that's never going to happen. LeBron's going to retire Laker. They better go get Jimmy Butler. I mean, go ahead and get him, man. Why not? The whole damn team is misfits. Go get him too. See if we can pull something together. You know, right. I don't know, man. The Lakers, Alonzo Ball. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a cool, decent player. Not, you know what I'm saying, but I don't know what to say as far as how they should arrange their lineup and their personnel. I really don't know at this point, man. It's tough, to figure that out. And the West is tough. It always has been. So, I don't know if they're going to even get back to a finals, without, not being funny, without a Jimmy Butler or somebody else that can score and defend a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just a dog, another dog. They need a dog on their team.
But you know what, Howie? The problem the Lakers have is they always get rid of their players that they pull in. They don't give them time to develop. You know what I mean? They already had the boat when they won the championship. Well, I don't even call it a championship. When they won that Pop Warner thing they won during COVID, you know what I mean? That little thing that people are calling a championship during COVID, they had a team. They could have probably went on to repeat if they had kept that team together. That's my thought. They don't give nobody chances to develop. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Because they always want to try to win right away.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to do that in any of these professional sports, man. You got to build to that, So I don't know. They like the Dallas Cowboys of the NBA.
There you
know
go.
what I'm saying?
There you go.
They're always disappointing, but always on the news.
There you go.
So, that's kind of where it is with that.
Stack, what's your take on this?
I think the Lakers do need to make a change. They do got 2 number ones, but you're not trading LeBron or AD. Okay. No. I think Lonzo Ball would be a great fit. And I think it's a realistic trade. I think that a point guard would be awesome just to get the ball out of LeBron's hands so he can play more off the ball, which he can do just fine. So I think Lonzo Ball would be nice, but Jimmy Butler would be better. And, while you was mentioning it, I was just messing around on the NBA trade machine. It's going to take a large haul, but they will have a big 3, and then they're going to have to just go into get some veterans off the street type situation to kind of put a team together. But I feel like if you got Jimmy Butler, LeBron, and AD, you can put anybody around that core and probably make a run.
Yeah, that's a good combination.
Yeah, but let's not forget this.
Trade machine, and I had put Christian Wood, Max Christie, Dorian Finney-Smith, who they just got, Rui Hachimura, and that trade failed because it's short about $6 million. I think you're going to have to throw in probably that Dalton Neck guy. You have to throw Bronny in there.
Yeah, but I think you're looking at it the wrong way. Jason, you want to add something in here, bro? Because I want to just say, if I'm the Lakers, I trade for a big and get AD out and back in his original position. That's what I would do. You know what I mean? Not even think about ball right now.
You can get him.
Well, I mean, the issue that I see is that I don't know how they can make a move because they're not trying to give away draft picks right now. I mean, the Aiden O'Brien probably got like 1 more year, 2 years tops, and he's out of there. And they're going to have to do something for the future. So they ain't trying to get off no draft picks. And then you got to think about the salary cap is what, like 144 million, something like that.
Yeah.
You got Braun making 52. You got AD making 62.
Yeah, the money
so like 100+ million is already tied up in 2 players.
Yeah. The money
so I don't know how you even make a move.
Yeah. Money there. Stack, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I think that you got some bargain basement big men that could make your team formidable alongside AD, namely DeMarcus Cousins and Dwight Howard, who deserve to be in the NBA right now, pretty much been blackballed. If you get those 2 guys back, if you get those 2 guys on the Lakers who both have rings from LA right now, you get Cousins and Howard as your bigs. You trade off all these wings that you're trying to put together, and get Jimmy Butler in the house, and I'm telling you, you have something. You have something.
I can't even dispute that because I think you will have something with that. I think it works. I can't dispute that. Let me move on to the next subject.
I'm sorry, man, but do you think Dwight Howard got enough in the tank left?
Yeah, because you need a body. You don't need a scorer. You need a body.
Right. And he knows that. That's the difference between Dwight Howard and these other guys. Dwight Howard knows exactly what he's coming in there to do.
Right.
Be physical, be tall, push guys. He was talking about Jokic. Funny enough, he talked about playing against Jokic in the bubble and was like, everybody's acting like Jokic is so unstoppable. He's like, but when we have me and JaVale McGee in there, just keeping our hands high and just pushing them around, you don't got to stop him. You don't got to grab
and
every
making passes. Don't forget that part. Making critical passes.
Okay. Yeah. No. Dwight Howard. I just,
No, say your piece. Say your piece, Howie.
I'm a Pistons fan, man. I'm Detroit, so and we're getting better. And we're getting better too. We're getting better. We surprisingly better. I'm sorry.
Look at Isaiah Stewart. Like, you don't think Dwight Howard could do a Isaiah Stewart impression? Maybe not.
Well, I'm saying that I think a body standing there. Yes, can he do that? Yeah, but can he be physical? Can he make the passes? I don't know if Dwight Howard got enough.
All he got to do is give you 10 minutes a game. That's all you got to ask him.
Right.
Hell,
right.
You can even ask for 8 minutes.
I'm with it to be sorry, but I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm not all the way against it. I'm just like listening to what you say.
He worked out for teams that couldn't understand why
he didn't get picked.
The way his career has gone, those guys, him and Boogie Cousins, are not guys who their play on the court declined, and that's why they weren't getting.
Stack. This is what you open. This is what you opening up that can that I opened. I talked to yesterday with Stacy, and I had on who I have on yesterday. It was and Rodney Perry. There was a topic, and Jason will remember this. The topic I had yesterday was talking about who is they feel the NBA is. Thank you. There you go. The NBA has certain guys that they don't want to mess with anymore. They don't want to deal with no more. They're targeting certain players anymore. They don't want to do it anymore. Dwight Howard is they targeted him. He's gone. Boogie Cousins was definitely targeted. I don't care what nobody says. That dude should still be playing or just retiring right now. Boogie should be playing, and he was too good to not be playing. But when you piss off too many people behind the scenes, and you piss off too many general managers, and you piss off too many scouts, you're going to end up being out of the league. You know what I mean? As long as you don't make that big mistake like what's that guy who's the guard on the Lakers right now? The German kid, the dark-skinned kid who's the German.
Schroeder.
Oh, Dennis Schroeder. Yeah.
Schroeder. As long as you don't make a mistake like Schroeder and mess up your money, you could be okay. But if you mess up your money and you're doing that, Boogie, like I promise you, and I hate to say this, for the record, I'm not trying to say this to besmirch this man anyway, but I would not be surprised if we found out in 4 or 5 years that Boogie was close to being broke. I wouldn't be surprised because he spent all his money heavy early on because he also knew he was going to get a real big contract, and it never came. You know what I mean? It never came. All right, so let me close up this NBA circle thing. Oh, wait a minute, Jason, you want to jump in and chime in before we move on with this? Because you're in the gallery, bro. Nobody else wanted to join you in the guy. You want to add? You want to add?
Oh, no, I can't disagree with y'all about any of it, man. Like the thing about Dwight Howard, he stay in shape. So it ain't like he gonna have a whole lot that he got to do. Boogie might be 579 pounds right now, bro.
Both of them are playing overseas.
He's from Birmingham, man. Ham hock sandwiches, baby.
Yeah, they're playing overseas right now, I believe.
So, is he? That would be great if he is.
They're in the same league, both of them. In the same league right now.
It might be. I know Dwight was playing something with Asian. I know he was doing something.
Yeah, him and Boogie. I think they're in the same league.
Yeah, they were doing something. I don't know. I haven't checked in. But you done, Jay? You got your point out?
We're good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the next topic I want to talk about. Draymond Green went on his went on his podcast and ended up saying this. How he said, "Mr. Poole, get over it. Just get over it," because what happened was Jordan Poole posted something on social media saying they asked him questions because obviously Washington played Golden State, and then Jordan Poole said, "I love almost all those guys." That's the exact quote he said. And then it's obviously people interact and say, "Well, what do you mean by almost all those guys?" And then Draymond Green specifically answered on that post, said, "Bro, I'm sorry. I'm still sorry. I'm sorry." Then he gets in his podcast today or yesterday and said, "You know what? Get over it, bro. You just get over it." So my question to you, Howie, is Is it a get over it moment? Is it a get over it type of thing? Or do you feel that Jordan Poole is in that position where he could be foreverly felt like he's disrespected? Because let's not forget, it wasn't like there was no cameras in that gym. That camera filmed that and everybody saw it. You know what I mean? What's your take on that, Howie?
Well, I've been watching Draymond Green for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Michigan State, the whole deal. He's always been an aggressive guy. We already know. Everybody knows his history in the league. Everybody knows he'd be quick to step on somebody's nuts. Do all kind of egregious things. I honestly think he sucker punched Poole. You know what I'm saying? And I like Draymond Green, but yeah, I'm gonna say this. I don't think Poole got nothing to worry about because the perception is he got sucker punched. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it's like a thing like people gonna be like, oh, you a B. You know what I'm saying? You a BRT. You know what I'm saying for letting this happen, or you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna be anything like that.
But
However,
Mm-hmm.
the way the world is now, that could become a meme in any day, you know what I'm saying? And then 15 years later, people won't know where that came from or the context behind it. So it's going to affect him in a negative way. He may be able to finagle that into something else. We don't know, But I didn't like it when it happened. I thought that disrupted the whole chemistry of that team at the time.
But let me interject here, Howard. Let me interject. Yeah. I'm trying to get you to answer this one particular thing. Should he still have love for that brother, and should Jordan Poole have really get over it? Like if that had happened to you and everybody saw it, and it was one of your brothers who did it to you, you know what I mean? Would you have the feeling of remorse? Like, I'm sorry, you know what I mean? Or you'd be like, no, you know what I mean? Like, what's your perception?
From Draymond Green's perspective, if he apologized, which I think you say he has, that's cool. But him telling him to get over it is can't tell me to get over nothing. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And Poole has the right to be, I forget it, brother, but I'll never forget. He has that right to feel that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And especially when somebody sock you in the mouth. I've been sucker punched before. I'll never like that guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, never ever. You know what I'm saying? I wish something bad would happen to him. Now, do I walk around hating him? Absolutely not. Because I don't have the energy for that. You know what I'm saying? But, when you get sucker punched, man, and, that stuff don't never go away. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And the crazy part about this is, Stack, I'm going to throw it to you.
I don't care how much money you make.
You're right, Howie. The crazy part about this, Stack, is I think it changed that one punch. I think changed the trajectory of Golden State Warriors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is how. If you agree, then you can agree. If you disagree, you can say you disagree. This is why because I think Jordan Poole, when he had the opportunity to sign, he went with the biggest, most money and got out of there. And they could have built with Jordan Poole and obviously Steph Curry staying, and they could let Clay leave, and then they could trade, Draymond. They could build, but right now their future is not bright at all because. The biggest star you had, the youngest, brightest star coming up is gone. What you think, Stack?
The sucker punch from Draymond to Jordan Poole probably hurt the Warriors way more than their chemistry, more than it hurt Jordan Poole. And then also your apology got to be just as loud as the disrespect. And whether Draymond recorded it himself or not, it was on camera and it was circulated. And now this man pretty much got people watching him get punched at work by a coworker, and now you're telling me to get over it. Like you can never let those words come out your mouth, Draymond. Just tell somebody to get over it when you had complete total disregard for this man at that very moment, for anything that he stood for anybody who cared about him, for anybody who's a fan of his or a fan of yours. You threw all of that out the window. You threw that punch. Now you need to live with that, just like he's got to live with that video being there. So, this is a no-brainer if you ask me. So yeah, he doesn't owe Jordan Poole doesn't owe him anything.
Nothing.
Not one dime. Jason, you wanted to throw 2 cents in there?
Yeah. Honestly, they both lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Golden State lost an incredible talent that fit their system. He allowed them to play a certain kind of way, and he had many years in front of him. This dude signed with the Washington Wizards, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's where careers go to die. So he ain't been the same. Golden State ain't been the same.
Yeah.
And also, it's telling me Draymond been rich for a long time because he knows on some street level stuff, if he did that same thing, that's why he punching millionaires. They got something to lose.
Right.
He ain't
Right.
going to the park punching nobody. It's gonna be on site with him for the rest of his life, and he knows that. So to say that, man, that's mad disrespectful. And it's telling me that he been rich for a long time. You know, that he don't understand the level of disrespect that he did and how the average dude would take that. Most dudes ain't no off button on that.
Right.
So to tell somebody to get over it, come on, bro, stop.
You know what? You got the quote of the day right there. Because honestly, I ain't gonna front. Most dudes would have no off button on that.
Ain't no
like,
off button on that, bro.
Nah, there wouldn't be no off button forever. Like you could be 90. As soon as you see him, like, you know what I mean? You'd be ready to, see each other. You could be, I don't care how old you are. Just, I don't know.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's one thing, man, to talk trash. When you start putting your hands on another man, bro, I don't care. Like you said, regardless of the situation, bro, that money might make you say I'm cool, but like you said, man, we in the park, bro. It's a whole different story.
Yeah, it's generally a life or death situation there.
Right. Now, yesterday I asked this question, and I'm gonna ask you this question because I've been asking a lot of comments who are coming on, and I don't even know if last time I had you on, if I did ask you this question, but I'm gonna ask you anyway and see what it is. It's gonna be the last question about the NBA, then we want to move on to the NFL, talk about my boy Jaden Daniels. Love this kid. Howie, I saw some news again today about the NBA thinking about what they're going to do to restructure the NBA All-Star Weekend. Like I said before, for you those sitting at home, Stephen A put something out there on how he would restructure and do some certain things. The funny thing is today is the NBA now is planning on expanding. From the article I read, they're trying to expand a lot of things on NBA All-Star Weekend by including more of the WNBA players. That's their future plan. They also want to talk about being able to add European players to the more NBA All-Star Weekend. What I'm not thinking they understanding is the ratings are going down so low, that's not the direction you should go in, but they think by including women is the direction. What would you do if you had the reins and you was the head of the NBA All-Star Weekend Commission? What would you do to turn it around? Because it's at an all-time low, all-time attendance low. Listen, the game is as worse as it's always been. NBA three-point shooting thing the stars ain't trying to compete for the NBA slam dunk competition, and a G leaguer has now won the NBA slam dunk competition 2 years in a row.
Yep. First of all, I want to say this. I think it's a excellent idea to include the WNBA in some of these things, especially the All-Star game. Can you imagine both teams mixed up with a few women on each team, 2 or 3 on each side, East and West? I think that would be incredible. I think that will make ratings go up. Yeah. Now, whether that can last, I don't know, but definitely for the first year they pump that up like that, I think that would be good. Now, girls against the guys, they're not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But to mix up the teams and have a few female players on each squad, East and West, I think that would be an incredible idea. I think that would be somewhat of a I don't know about a lifesaver, at least revive them a little bit. Even with the 3-point contest as well, and mix it up, man, with the men and women personnel. I like that. The dunk contest. The stars don't want to dunk no more, so that's a problem. Maybe they need to offer some incentive. If you win the dunk contest, you get this or X, Y, Z. I don't know, but it should be the dunk contest. We need to encourage some of those people, those high jumping, superstars like Morant and all these guys to be in it, man, and to really go for it. Even LeBron doing it again would be great, even if he didn't win. And I think a lot of these guys have their pride and arrogance won't let them do some of these competitions because they feel like if I lose, then that's a stain on my brand, and not that it's a benefit for the league. And I think someone need to give back, in that manner and do some of those things like the dunk contest. Some of you high flying, real superstars, man, do the dunk contest, man. And of course the inclusion of WNBA, I think is an excellent idea.
Okay, I don't agree with your point. I'm gonna say it on the record. I don't agree with that. But me and Howie still love you, bro.
It's all good.
It's the stack. What would you do?
Definitely would not have any women in the game. First of all, I that would turn more people off, in my opinion.
So.
I think the NBA has to get a grip. We all knew, at least from my generation growing up, we knew the best dunkers weren't the NBA players. When the M1 mixtapes came out, that was when we learned that the NBA didn't have the best dunkers. I remember when I was in high school in the early 2000s, and I used to always be like, yo, I mean, we had some great dunk contests. We had Jason Richardson and those guys, Desmond Mason. They was doing their thing back then. But we all knew we were seeing better dunks from the McDonald's All-American high school dunk contest. We were seeing better dunks from the college slam dunk contest. I think that we're going to continue to see G Leaguers win the dunk contest. And I'm going to tell you why, because the game of basketball, as boring as people want to say it, it's become even harder to get into the NBA. The athleticism that was required to be good in the NBA back in the early 2000s and the 90s, you have to take that type of athleticism now and also know basketball, have a very high basketball IQ to even be considered a star nowadays. So back in the day, I feel like in the days of Dominique and MJ, like their physical prototype was not as common as it is now. Like everybody has a 40-inch vertical and 6'6".
That's true. That's true.
Like it's that talent. It's just everybody can do a windmill. Everybody can do all these dunks. Now, I do agree that the young stars should be in the dunk contest. Ja Morant, for instance, Zion, those guys could get into it. But the truth of the matter is, even those guys aren't the best dunkers out. I think we need to integrate more outside dunkers. I do agree with integrating the women in the 3-point contest. I think that they already did that though last year.
Yeah, they did that.
But as far as just getting the All-Star game together, really just up the pot. Just up the pot for the team that wins. Go back to East versus West. I think people complaining about the ratings going down, a lot of that has to do with the fact that basketball is just more accessible now. So nobody really wants to watch it. I mean, think about it. When we was coming up, how many days a week could we watch basketball? And how many games did we have to choose from? Compared to now, you could watch basketball every day. Even if you don't have League Pass, you could probably still catch a game or two on TV any day. So I think we're a little bit spoiled now with the athleticism. The last good dunk contest was 2014. Was it when Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon went at it? That was the best dunk contest of all time. Anybody who disagrees with that is foolish. I've never seen an NBA slam dunk contest with that level of dunking ability and skill.
There are people right now who sit on this panel who could definitely disagree with you, and I'll get into that in a second. Jason, I know you raised your hand for a second. You wanted to chime in on this? You got 2 cents you want to throw in this before I give my 2 cents?
Yeah. I mean, first off, I agree. Listen, the NBA subsidizes the WNBA, so you need to showcase your product as much as possible. Mm-hmm. As a former basketball player, it's levels, man. Like a female basketball player versus an elite male basketball player, that's just
it's not fair. Yeah.
DOA, bro. I mean, that's nothing able to do. So, but I would like to see them highlight the WNBA more, give them that platform, incorporate them, doing their own thing, because I don't think that the two fan bases are the same. Mm-hmm. So since ratings are down, why not just go ahead, man, and diversify your product, say, okay, we got this for this over here, this over here. But also, I was watching an old dunk contest from back in the day with like Larry Nance and them boys. It was trash juice, man. You know what I'm saying? So what we expected from dunk contests has gotten so out of whack right now. I don't even think NBA players, man, should even be the dunkers anymore. Why not hit YouTube? Why not hit social media and bring in these dudes that dunk for a living? You know what I'm saying? Because the NBA is already the centerpiece. So why not just say, okay, the dunk contest is going to be these for real dunkers dunking in an NBA arena, and you can see something spectacular.
And let them make some money. Just that's it.
Well,
that's the whole thing about it. They're not associated with the league, so the association. So they, it's going to be a lot of politics and trying to get people off the streets to be in those contests. Even though I agree that they're the best, but I want to say one thing real quick, Frank, before you go. the All-Star game. Let me go back to that real quick. The All-Star game itself.
Mm-hmm.
Did you remember how many points these teams scored, man?
Yep. Do
you remember?
I've been watching the All-Star game since the 70s, bro.
So that 2000 to 2000, bro. Listen, man, let me tell you something, dog. Nobody, they're playing no defense, dog. So it's not a game no more.
Right.
They just throwing the ball, they walking up the court. This shit is ridiculous. And excuse my language, but so my thing is, hey, even if for 1 year you incorporate the women, the best of the best, and you incorporate and make those teams, East against West, and you got 2-3 women on each side, I think at least for a season or for 1 year, the ratings will go up.
All right, now check this out.
Nobody's watching the All-Star game no more.
Yeah, check this out. I kind of, I evolved, my thought process evolved from the beginning of the week to this week to today, because been talking about this all week long. Stack and I even talked about this. I think we talked about this the other day. I think what would be great for the All-Star game would be to have all the European players on side A and all the best of the American players on side B, and then that would be your All-Star game, because you're trying, the league is trying to expand the game anyway overseas. So why not get SGA and Luka in the backcourt? You get Joker in the back. I mean, you see where I'm going with this? Like, you got players who are already in the NBA, who are already playing. They're already from foreign countries. Have them play on one side, and then now it takes a level up to pride, because now the American player is going to be like, listen, this is a pride thing. We here, we born here, we create this thing. We ain't going to let you beat us. Now they're able to play in scrimmage and play just as hard as they do in scrimmage, because in NBA scrimmages and in the summer leagues, these boys are playing harder than they are in the NBA All-Star game, which you are putting on your resume. Let me say that again. You're putting on your resume when you do contract negotiations and say, hey, I got chosen to the 2024 NBA All-Star game. That's the thing that they help use for their contract negotiations. That's not, what I mean? So we need to bring it back up to a level of prestige of what it was, because Stack's too young, but we all remember the days when the East used to be the West. Those boys was going at it. It was like you was watching.
I remember those days. Yeah, I remember those.
Okay, days. Well, I'm glad you do, because it was like watching the finals in the midseason.
But even those games, they started off real lightweight, and they didn't really turn up till the fourth quarter.
No. See, that's why I said I didn't think you remember. No, before that, they started. They started maybe in the first. They would pass the ball around to get to feel each other, literally in the first quarter. And before the midterm or the first quarter started, like when Larry Bird and those boys was playing, they was balling, because they wanted to brag and say in your face that I don't care what team you on and who you got with you, we gonna bust you behind. That's the days I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the late 90s and 2000s when they slowed up and then they started picking it up to the fourth quarter. No, I'm talking about when you had Larry Bird and Charles Barkley on the same team.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
All it takes is for one star player to get injured in the All-Star game.
And that's the excuse that they keep using.
That was the beginning excuse. That was the beginning of everything. Even the Pro Bowl game with football, All-Star game, it was like, we can't get injured. We can't play for a regular team. It was a time when they played these games like a game.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. That's why everybody born with it. They're not playing like a game no more because everybody worried about the bag.
But Frank, real quick,
go ahead.
I don't think what they're not talking about. I think it's a macro problem for the NBA right now, in that people don't watch TV like they used to watch TV anymore.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Very true.
So these young people, bro, your ratings are down because your viewers are down. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same amount of people tuning in, to watch what's going on. To even, I remember, I used to live for the NBA on NBC every Sunday.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was the only show in town, and they produced it well. But these young kids, if your product ain't better than the latest Nicki Minaj, thirst video, you ain't getting the viewership, bro. So one of the things I like what they're doing is that I like in the NFL, they're always in front of it. They're moving to Netflix. They're moving to Amazon. They're going to these apps, because most people, they don't even have cable in their house, bro. They can't watch TNT.
Right.
If they wanted to. So,
man,
they got to fix that.
Jason, you're right on the spot, because right now you got 60 seconds to capture the viewer. And some people will say you got 30 seconds. Some people will say you ain't even got that.
It's less.
You got seconds to keep their mind and attention. But before Howie Bell rolls up out of here, because I'm looking at the time, Howie, my favorite Lions fan in the building. We got to discuss the games this upcoming weekend. And now, since you sitting on the sideline, you ain't got nothing in on who wins and who loses. I don't think. You know what I mean? I don't think you care who wins or loses.
I still care. I'm a fan of football, so I still care.
I mean, like you don't have a race. You don't have anything in this race. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't have a dog in the fight.
Right? Yeah, dog in the fight, a horse in the race, whatever you want to see. Let's look at the AFC right now. We got Buffalo getting ready to face obviously Kansas City. Everybody's saying Buffalo's doing the thing, but Kansas City is going to be the one to repeat and everything else. What's your take on who you think is going to come out of the AFC?
I think that's the Super Bowl, if you really want to be honest. That's an incredible game, man. The Bills and the Chiefs. That's like their fifth time meeting in the AFC Championship over the last 6 years or something like that.
Fourth, I think.
Fourth or fifth over the last recent years. Yeah. So these teams know each other. And I honestly, truly believe that Josh Allen finally gets past these dudes, man. I think he can do it this time. And, I think off of sheer will and determination and grit, I think that the Buffalo Bills are going to pull it off. I think it's going to be another tight one. It's going to be 35-37 or something like that. It's going to be high scoring. And I think the Bills pull it off, man. I would love to see Kansas City get 3 in a row because nobody's ever done that. But I just don't see the Bills losing one more time to them in a championship.
Okay. And since I still got you on obviously on the forefront, what's your take on obviously it's going to be Jaden Daniels, who nobody's seeing coming, against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Who are you picking out of that?
Well, I'm going to say this to the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't turn the ball over like Jared Goff did, or you're going to lose. And because that guy he's like the coolest, calmest machine I've ever seen, and nobody has shook him yet. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has gotten a real couple of good hits on him to rattle him at all. And so if they don't get their hands on this guy, he's going to win the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And, as good of a rushing attack that Philadelphia has, and Saquon, I just think that, man, this guy is a machine. And, with that pressure coming into Detroit and winning that game, with all those turnovers we had, was still kind of a close game throughout, and he still pulled it off and didn't get rattled. Philadelphia better watch out, man, because this guy is coming.
So who you got?
And I see him being the first rookie to go to the Super Bowl. So I got the Commanders.
Okay, he got the Commanders. Stack, 60 seconds, bro. Give me your take.
Bills, Chiefs. It would be nice to see Josh Allen win, but I personally think the Super Bowl will be more enjoyable to watch the Chiefs versus the Commanders. So that's the Super Bowl that I want to see, and that's what I'm going with. I think the Commanders have everything it takes to beat Philly. They've seen them twice this year. They're a division foe. I think that Jaden Daniels plays fast. I think he trains faster, so he's built for whatever you're going to throw at him. And I think that's going to result in him being the first rookie to win 3 playoff games and eventually the first rookie to win a Super Bowl, because I think that Commanders have what it takes to beat the Kansas City Chiefs because they haven't been putting up as many points as they used to over the years.
Okay, Jason, since you joined the show as a listener, watcher, I appreciate you doing this and everything else, man. Give me you got 60 seconds. Give me who you see in the Super Bowl, both sides. AFC
I don't think Buffalo beats Kansas City, and Kansas City is too much to deal with. Factor in the refs or whatever. Honestly, I think God already sprayed Mark Andrews' gloves with Pam for him last week, so they already got their blessing, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think they're gonna get 2 weeks in a row of that kind of thing. And listen, you can't beat 15, bro. Listen, you gotta kill him. And if you ain't going in there to kill him, he gonna kill you. So I ain't got faith in that. And people forget Philadelphia was beating the brakes off the Commanders until Jalen Hurts got knocked out with that concussion. Mm-hmm. So Philly is built to deal with what Washington wants to do. Jalen Carter is a beast in the middle, and those DNs Sweat and them other dudes coming off the edge, and their DBs can cover. So I don't know. I mean, but the biggest thing with Philly that I see is that thing called T-O-P, baby. They can run Saquon all night long. Good top, baby. Everybody like that good top, right?
Yeah.
So run Saquon all day. They can slow the game down. You know, they can keep Jaden off the field. They can match up really well. You know, with their DBs. That white boy, the Gene, ain't no joke. The kid that they got out of Toledo, he ain't no joke. I mean, this kid's up for like defensive rookie of the year. So
yeah.
You know, I just think at the end of the day, over the past like 5 years for sure, the two best NFL franchises in terms of personnel and the way they run, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles. And I think that the two best franchises are going to win when it's all said and done.
Okay, so let me just throw my 2 cents out there and get ready to roll this up and just say this. I think the NFL wants, like I said it yesterday, I think the NFL wants a repeat of the Eagles and the Chiefs. I'd like to see, honestly, I'd like to see the Commanders in, and I'd like to see the Bills in. And if the Commanders or the Bills win, I ain't mad at it. But then this morning I was looking at First Take, and I had it on the background, and somebody said something, and it just resonated with me. Like, what would we be doing right now? How would we react if a black quarterback as a rookie came in and won the Super Bowl? Like, how would that change? And how would that make us feel? And it's not even a black or white thing for me, but just on this one particular thing, this one kid right now, the things he's gone through in the last 12 months, the last calendar year, he would have won the Heisman Trophy. He would have won the Rookie of the Year. And like I said yesterday, he'd be taking home the Super Bowl, and he might even take home the Super Bowl MVP if he gets there and wins. I don't think we would ever see that again. That's something that even Patrick Mahomes never did. You know what I mean? So I would love to see that.
Dan Marino did it, didn't he? He made the Super Bowl, right?
Who?
Dan Marino. He made it there, right?
Yeah, Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl.
And I know he lost, but he made it there, right?
Yeah, he
no
made
rookie,
it.
No rookie ever won 3 playoff games.
Yeah, none.
Yeah, that's incredible.
He'd be the first rookie to go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he'd be the first rookie to go to a Super Bowl and take his team to actually the Super Bowl. And again, more impressive because now we're playing even more games a season. You know what I mean? Like when Dan Marino was playing, it was 12 games. You know what I mean? So and then it got ramped up to 14 games, 15, 16, then it got ramped up to 16. Now
it's 17.
And I saw inside the NFL, and Goodell was on there, and they're talking about adding another game.
Right.
For the 18.
So that's why I'm saying like, the magnitude of what he's doing right now with the amount of games being played and the salary cap season. And I mean, just so many different things are coming at him, and he's been able to do that. I can't front. I'm a Patriots fan, so I can care who wins or loses. But if I'm going to sit home and watch these games, I'm going to be rooting for the Washington Commanders. And I think this kid got me sold. I think he got me.
I'm not, what he can do. But Frank, I'm not sure how good Daniels really is. You know, I mean, he's good, man, but Goff turned that thing over. He turned it over so much. I don't know if they're really that good because of how poorly Detroit played.
Jason, I would give it to you if this brother didn't have 6 comebacks. 6 in the same season, down by a score with 20 seconds left to go to the game. If he did it once, that's luck because everybody got the luck. Right. But do that 6 times. Now we're talking skill. Now I'm talking. This brother he knows the game. He studies the game, and obviously this VR training he's been doing. Everything else is like I said yesterday. Is getting ready to be implemented. All the other 31 teams in the league about to do it because of what he did and just the way he's winning and the teams he's beat and the way he's beat them. You know, I think the biggest win for them by beating the Detroit Lions last week, it wasn't just a big win. It was a win that they will put down and like a bookmark and say, this will be the beginning of something when we saw something really, really special. You know what I mean? I think that would be the point in time where they'll reference that. They won't reference the Bears game when he threw it. They won't reference, the Philadelphia Eagles game when they won't reference. That's nothing. But everybody picked the Eagles. I mean, everybody picked the Lions to win. The Lions even picked themselves to win, and everybody overlooked the Washington Commanders. And I don't think anyone of us here thought that. And that might have even been the Lions' fault. The Lions might not have even prepared that tough because they knew they were going to beat Washington. You know what I mean?
Rex Ryan said it was a bye week.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? So, but again, these boys all came to play, and I just think it's
a 12-win team. People be forgetting they won 12 games in the regular season.
But I think a lot of people are overlooking how good the Washington Commanders are. And let's not forget their coach also went to the Super Bowl already, and he lost the Super Bowl
and nutted up.
Right, he lost, but because he lost, we all know that experience helps you, and you know how to talk to all these rest of these boys to get in. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it is. But anyway, man, we got to get ready to wrap this up. I really have to give my huge thanks to comedian Howie Bell for taking the time. Howie, where are you at? What city you in? What you got going on this weekend, bro?
Well, right now I'm in this crappy hotel here in St. Louis. If you can see, look at the wall art. I'm having a good time while I'm down here, though. I'm with a comedian named Willie Lynch Jr., very funny guy. We had a great show last night. One more tonight, and then I'm going back to Detroit tomorrow, and then I'm on the Soul Train cruise. We leave out Saturday, and we're there 8 days. So,
Hold on. What is the Soul? There's a Soul Train cruise? I never heard
there
about
is a
that.
Soul Train cruise. Yeah, hey, listen, this is my first cruise ever in life too. So, but yeah, the Soul Train cruise apparently they've been doing it for a long time. They got Charlie Wilson and a bunch of other people after 7, and so they're doing. We're there 8 days, and we're doing a comedy club on the boat. So it's me, Toure, Michelle, and Sean Jones, and so we're gonna be all out putting it down, man, representing.
I was hoping the wifey didn't see that, and sure enough, she commented.
Hey, well, tell her it's sold out right now. So
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want to go on no Soul Train cruise, but the wife was like, "Hey, that sounds like a great idea." But Howie, how can we follow you, bro? What's your tags?
You can always follow me at Howie Bizzell, HOWIEBIZZELL on the gram, or just type in Howie Bell, man. You got me.
Thank you, Howie, for joining the show, man. I greatly
appreciate
it. Yeah, Stack, tell everybody out there how they can follow you so we can roll up out of here.
What's up, y'all? Y'all can follow me at Stackinova on Instagram or X. I'm based in Atlanta. You can catch me at Boom Boom Legos this weekend, 3979 Beaufort Highway on Friday and Sunday.
And my man Jason Hayes, thank you for joining the show out of the gallery. You're one of the only people who had enough courage to come up here and state your point and state your views, because we put the link in there for people to, and nobody else wanted to join. So I thank you for that, bro. I really appreciate that. How can we follow you, bro? How you
appreciate it?
Do you have a tag? Anything you want us to follow you with? Anything, bro?
Hey, man, I'm a filmmaker, man. So just wait for mine to drop.
There it is. There it is. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining the show. The show's called Humor Mill. We're going to be back Monday because I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I can't do the show. I'm getting too old, right? I got a doctor. But Howie, thank you for joining the show.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Jason. We'll see y'all Monday every day, 5 to 6, Monday through Friday, box seats on Humor Mill TV. Thank y'all.
Peace, fellas.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.